Preaching now they know the waves. Got my chakras flowing. Spider standard, got my creative juices going. That's the dwelling place. Got my chakras flowing. Spider standard, got my creative juices going. That's the dwelling place. Got my chakras flowing. Spider standard, got my creative juices going. That's the dwelling place. Medication place. Self-teaching, I ain't preaching, now they know the way. Now they know the ways. Now they know the ways. Self-teaching, now they preaching, now they know the ways. Now they know the ways. Now they know.
Yes. Hello, hi. How are you? Welcome to Real Talk Manchester. Right, would you like to pick the question, Nicole, please?
Have it. Okay, question is, the benefit system, does it really work?
Oh.
Well, can I just say,
Oh gosh.
yes, well, no. I have worked since I was 16 years old, and believe you God, if anything was to happen to my job, I am telling you now, I'm going straight to the job centre to sign on to collect my money. I'm just letting you know that now.
And so you should, because you deserve it. But how long are you going to stay on that money?
Until you get a job. Until you get a job.
Well, that's the point
So,
of it.
are you searching for the job, or were you about to take any job because you've been working since you were 16?
Oh no,
So
I'll be searching for the job because I couldn't just take any job that only pays.
You're willing to stay on benefits for more than 12 months? Because we can't have an issue, baby.
Well, personally, no, I'd hate being on benefits personally myself, so I'd want to look for a job ASAP.
Because you money bags brandy, that's why. Money
bags
brandy, innit? That's why, innit? Ching.
No.
Money, baby.
No, but with the benefit system, it has its flaws. Like, say, for example, if you're disabled, you know how they've worked it out where you get tested and they don't like test you properly and everything like that. They just somebody just comes and just ticks a box and they say yes or no, you're disabled or not.
But do you know why that happens? So that happens because there's people who need disability living allowance, personal independence.
Yes,
there's people that need it, and then there's people that don't need it.
No,
and I'm all for getting what you can get. Like if it's available to you and you know you can apply for it and you're going to get it because it's that easy, then that's completely fine. But you're the person that's then driving up the difficulty for the guy that
genuinely needs it.
Genuinely needs it.
Yes, I get. Go on.
My point is, it's not necessarily it's not the system. Well, no, it is the system. It's not the people. This is what I'm saying. No, if people can basically, if people can take the mic, right, then why not take the mic? You said you're out for, like, obviously, if people can get what they can get, then get it. So, really and truly, why are we mad at them people when it's a system that makes it easy for them? To be fair, it's not easy, as it's getting harder, obviously, with the recent welfare reforms. However, if I can get it, I'm going to get it. Simple as.
I hear that. So it's the mentality. So it's not the system. In my opinion, it's not the system and it's not the people. It's the mentality. So unfortunately, as a society, we don't work together.
I think my personal opinion on this, I think it's a system. I think in this country, the less you do, the more you earn. So when people are working their ass off, they've got a good job, they're getting a good wage. The more you earn, the more you get taxed. Like my auntie gets taxed 40% of her wage because of what she makes. So it doesn't make sense her going up in the ranks in her job because she's going to get, the more she earns, the more she gets taxed. But the less you do, the more money you get. So if you just want to breed up, have pitney after pitney after pitney, you're going to get dough. You're getting dough if you've got 11, 12 kids.
Yeah, you get
but it's changed now. Wait, it's changed now though, isn't it? It's changed now. It's changed now. They're a lot more stricter. Do you know what I mean? So it's a case of, especially with tax credits, so now it's a case of you have anything over 2 kids, you will not get tax credits for.
And so it should be business.
But now there's like that controversy, which I don't want to really bring into early. But they're saying that basically you're gonna have to prove, that you've been raped if you have the third child.
Oh my fucking God!
Yes.
Wow.
You have
That's
to prove
disgusting.
That's terrible.
You have to prove.
In terms of keeping on the original topic, piggybacking off what you were saying, because that's where I was gonna go in. Being on benefits shouldn't be a job in itself. It should just be a necessity. Like you said, you've worked since you're 16 years old. So if you then lose that job, then it's a necessity for that small period of time to bridge the gap
to survive.
But here's the thing with, like you said, with the tax thing, there's no way that not working should earn you the same amount or even close to as when you're working. So the gap needs to be closer because people treat it as a career.
Yeah.
People treat
And then they're like, I've not been paid this week. What did you do?
You got paid
on DLA. So if you're on DLA, which obviously some people need DLA because they have certain problems and issues, but there's people that can know how to work the system and blag it. So these people some people you get, I think over, it depends on your circumstances, depends what you get, but somebody I know, she gets $1,000 a month, she gets a free car, a house is paid for, and she's living, after, so if you're working your job, you've got $1,000 a month spare, you got your car and everything, you got to pay for that, you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that, pay for rent. You're looking to even have $1,000 left over after you've paid everything out. That's the highlight. So what incentive has she got to come off that and then get a job where she's not going to make nowhere near?
So she's only getting so much money because she's on DLA. That's the difference. So in my opinion, if that individual can't work because of their disability, then that money that they get for that disability is their entitlement, and so you should live on it for however many years. The flip side of it for me is if you are able-bodied, and able-bodied is between 16 years of age to I don't agree with the pensionable age, but either way, till you can work, then you should be going out to work. So fair enough, if you have a baby, which technically it's your choice. If you have the baby, it's your choice. So you can be at home, you can look after your baby, and understand that we all want to be stay-at-home mothers. I want to be a stay-at-home mother. I'd like to stay at home and freaking pick them up from school, drop them off from school, cook, do whatever. But we can't do that.
But then if that's the case, then my point is, well, what about the fact that there's plenty of women that manipulate their hours,
It's not just women. But
I'm talking about in specifically tax credits, right? Specifically tax credits, where they will. I know obviously it depends if you've got a single claim or a joint claim, but say we're talking about a single claim, female manipulating her hours to work under 30 hours a week, so she can get working tax credits.
So my response to that personally, so again, I feel it because I work full time. I do everything that I can personally do to ensure that my income is what my income is. But on the flip side, that individual, so if she's working 16 hours a week and she gets, let's just say, for instance, £500 a month, tax credits will then top her up £1,000 a month. But then she says, you know what, I'm going to increase my hours. I'm going to go up to 31 hours per week. So her employer then says, you know what, you get an extra £1,600, you get an extra £600, so then you get £1,100. But before that, you were getting £1,200. Would you put them extra hours in? I wouldn't. But I have done it, but I don't think it's fair. So, but you've got to pay for childcare. You've got to get to work. You're then losing more time with your children because you have to put more time. So basically, if you can get the money, get the money. And I understand why you do it.
Right, so what about the people? Exactly. So what about the people that then don't want to work? Because they want to spend time with the kids and get benefits.
Get food stamps. So this is my thing. Get food stamps. I don't believe so. If you want to sit at home and get benefits and raise your children in your way, then that is totally understandable. But don't shop where I shop. Don't shop where I shop. No, it's true. No, I'm slaving. This is my thing. So I'm slaving away. I'm getting up at 6:30 every single morning to take my children to breakfast club so that I can get to work by 9 o'clock in the morning, to finish at 4:30, to then pick them up from kids club, to then just about afford my parents.
I understand what you're saying,
but you just want to walk in there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon because you.
I understand what you're saying in terms of, but the thing is, I understand what you're saying and where your point is coming from. But the system isn't designed for people to succeed. Like you said, your aunt gets taxed 40%, and if she keeps going up, she's gonna. The system is there to fuck you over. Here's the thing: the harder you work, the more you should earn.
Standard.
It's just common sense that anyone's gonna do it. Like you said with your scenario, is the girl gonna put the extra hours in? Why is she gonna put the extra hours in?
The only difference is, so you put the extra hours in for your career. So it depends on what you're building.
Yeah, obviously it depends on the job.
If depending on your job line, if you don't want it, I don't know. Like I'm not about to do that with somebody's job position. Depends on what your job position is. Like if you know that you're basically just working to get money, then understandably you're only gonna work 16 hours a week to get topped up with tax credits. But if you're building a career, unfortunately, you're gonna take that 40%.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not fair, but that's what we do because we want to build a career.
I get what you're saying, but that's the difference between a career and a job. How many people do we know who are at our ages, like we all, I'm not gonna put all our ages, but like at 20-somethings, we all look for 20-something. I would say.
I'm 20-something. Yeah, I'm 21 and a half. I'm born. Yeah,
you would say that. You look at you. You love it. But yeah, as I was saying, bro, I actually lost my train of thought. But in terms of if it's a career, obviously you're gonna try harder, but not everyone finds their career like that. Who has their, obviously if you're lucky enough, salute to you to be 16 and know what you want to do. At 16, I'm much older than 16 now, and I'm slowly figuring out what I want to do as career. Like now, it took me yonks.
So this is the difference. It depends on what you want to do in life. I think that's all it is. So if, as a 16-year-old, if you know that you're just happy to have, what is it, £70 a week, £80 a week, I don't know. If you're happy with that, then that's you. Depends. But if at 16 you know what, I want a little bit more money than that. I want what my mum's wearing. I want to drive what my uncle's driving. I want to go where I want to go. Then that's the difference. So that's when you start. A job could be a job. So it don't even have to be a career. You could be 35, like, I don't know, in job to job every other week, but you're still making P. That's the difference. So it depends on your mindset as to my whole thing on the welfare system, this is just basically all I personally think is if you're going to be on benefits and you can work after 12 months, you should be able to get money, cash. Like, do what you want to do with it, because if I had to go on benefits because I lost my job today, I still want to shop where I shop. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's just, it is, and for 12, it's so bad. I might not be able to find the job. I might not be able to find the job in that 12-month period. But if I am not happy on £70 a week in 12 months, my next ulterior motive is to find a job that I didn't particularly want to do, but I'll do it because I want more money.
Thing. It's the mentality of people's. It is the mindset. Like when I started working from mad young, like 14. Because obviously, single parent, and I didn't want to keep stressing my mum out for money every minute. Because there's bare shit. I wanted people in school that got TNs and all that. Like I was pressuring my mum for the TNs, but I still have my mum's like thoughts in my mind, like what my mum's struggling to do the damn thing, and I'm stressing my mum out for stupidness I don't even need because people have got it, and I want that looks good. So I thought, fuck it, I'll get a job. I'm gonna get a job. So I blagged my national insurance number. I wasn't meant to be working. Blagged it. Started doing silver service, and I was grafting my backside off to get that dough. But not everyone's got that mindset. Some people just want to live off benefits. So it's your mindset.
I was gonna say that,
but you can do so if. This is the country, if you don't want to do a backside, you don't have to do nothing.
So you should get food stamps, this is my point. So if your mindset is not driven, then please.
So you're saying, if you're not going out to work, you should just basically get the necessities, like you need food and that.
But that's what it is. There's a difference, so basically, yes,
that's what it is.
No, it's not. So it is not that. So how
it is now. No, with the benefit cap, I am telling you now, the amount of people, it's well harder the amount of people that go to food banks and rely on
people work and go. People in my job position that will have to go. So that's not the benefit.
No, it's not just benefits. That's open for people who are struggling, full stop. But what I'm saying is, with the benefit cap, and obviously the fact of if you have more than 2 children, let's just say, you are struggling. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have to. That is a sad state of affair when you have to rely on a food bank to feed your kids on a weekly basis.
But why are you relying on the food bank?
Because you don't know people's situations.
No, I know.
No, you don't understand.
No, this is what I'm saying. So it's not just people who receive benefits that have to rely on a food bank, and I totally understand. Everyone's financial position is totally different, but basically, all I personally think is if you are happy enough, maybe, so we can, not all, if you can work, then you can work. If you can work, then you can work. So why wouldn't you just go?
I fully understand what you're saying with that, but in the terms of there's a difficult way to, obviously you can say, all right, if you've been on 12 months, we can take you off, but there's a tough way to judge someone's motivation or incentive. And here's the thing, what I think is fucked up with the system. If you are working 40 to 50 hours a week or anything above, that wage should be able to make you live comfortably in it. Like my mum, as far as I can remember it, anything I've ever needed, she's always got me and whatnot. And it's in terms of, and she's grafted her ass off my entire life and before that. And the thing is, she's still not now and able to live comfortably, and to me that's wrong. So that's what I'm saying when I say the system is fucked up, and obviously people on benefits I'm not saying it's right, but what I'm saying is I understand because you got people working 50, 60
know how
hours a
you
week.
get-
Incentive.
Yeah, incentive.
So
Yeah,
what,
incentive.
that person
There's
that's on
nothing at all.
benefits and they're living that high life, they don't get up out of bed when the blood clot. Get out of bed. They get up whenever they want to get got flat screen TV, all the kids got the latest shit. But they're not doing a damn thing.
It was that
But
show,
it's
remember?
understandable.
No,
So,
but
the point
I
is
feel better.
What's the incentive for them to go and get a job and earn less?
So this is so.
Because the
unfortunately-
comfortable at home though, like the
this is
16-year-old guy.
So with the cut,
Yeah.
that was this whole universal credit thing that was supposed to be brought about. So basically, you get one wage a month. So basically, let's live how everybody else lives. Here's your £1,000. Do as you please. Get your gas, get your electric, pay your rent. Let's see how much money you got left to live. Because obviously, we all know if you get paid weekly or fortnightly, it's easier to have money every day than it's easier than it is to have money on a monthly basis. So I understand it, but. You lost me.
Go on, carry
Nah,
on.
you lost me. It's cool, go.
No, but the problem with that, people don't know how to manage their money. That's
Exactly.
the problem. Yeah,
But
so
Is that the government's fault?
Yeah,
It's the government's fault because they don't put it in school.
No, it's
It
not.
should be-
No,
it
that
should-
should be
It
in
should
the
be part of the
curriculum.
curriculum.
That should be-
No,
No.
can I say something?
Go on.
Can I say something? Yeah, no, it is the government's fault. The reason why I'm going to say it's the government's fault because it was easy before. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
now it's
people
made it
fell into
hard.
that
So
trap.
yeah, you
So
can't just turn around to
change
a
is
man,
always
change
hard,
it
though.
straight and turn around and say,
Change.
"There's £1,000. Take care of yourself." Because that's
Change
what's
is
happening.
always hard,
What you
but
find-
it has to come about
It
at
has to,
some
but
point.
they
Some
need
point,
support.
you need to live.
They
how
need
I
support.
live. I understand that they need support, and don't get me wrong. So, as a single as a single parent, I would want to be at home. So if I could afford to be at home with my children and take that income support and that tax credits and that housing benefit, I see the benefit in other people doing it. So they spend much more time. They get homework time with their babies. They get. I'm gonna just skip to the park after school. I'm gonna make homemade. I don't know.
Just bake.
Yeah, I personally don't get to do that, and I feel bitter. I feel bitter
I get that.
to people on the flip side. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
can't
it's not-
imagine you
it's
staying
not
at
their
home all
fault.
day. I can't imagine you doing that though.
Why?
Sitting at home.
No, I think you'll get bored.
Why not?
Why? With my kids?
With
Why
the
do I
kids?
get bored?
No. I'm not saying your kids. Your kids are going to school and everything like that. So what?
In the middle of the day, I'd be cleaning my house.
And that's it.
My back garden will look like an Argos catalogue. You know what I'm saying? But really and truly, when you have to work, like we forgo whether it's a single person or a family person, you have to give up certain things that other people can do when they're on benefits, and it sounds so bad. And the only reason that I don't agree with it is because I'm bitter about it. I want to live that life.
I understand why you're bitter
all
about
the
it.
money that I'm
You
getting.
don't want to live that life.
Why
no.
not? If I could stay at home all day.
So you wouldn't?
Nah.
You could.
I don't think it's as easy as it's not that simple. It's not that
But
straightforward.
there's ways of blagging it where you can blag
No,
the
but
system.
you
This is
can,
the
no, but this is the
system. You
thing
can blag
now.
it.
Before now, it's so much more difficult.
It's harder.
It's so much more
No,
difficult.
the-
And this is the thing. And them programs, them all them
The check
programs.
social media and everything
Yeah,
like that.
no,
She
that's
was-
bad. No, they make people have that kind of view. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, look at them, the scrounging off the
onto that.
system.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
And
saying?
it's
But
not
these
that.
people
Not
should
that.
be.
Yeah.
I work with these people on a day-to-day, so I see the struggle. Do you see
Yeah, I
what I'm
understand.
saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying about the struggle, and obviously what they show on TV is the extreme for obviously for us to be
extreme
entertained.
cases.
And I understand what you're saying, Willie, when you say talk about the bitterness towards it, because who wouldn't be? You're grafting your ass
It's so
off.
sad. I don't
And
want
then-
it, but it is. It's how it has to be.
like, that's totally understandable. But like I said, I understand why people do it. Because at the end of the day, we all want to get paid.
Exactly.
Nobody wants to live. Which, like, you shouldn't be working. I go back to my original point: 40 to 50 hours a week and living paycheck to paycheck. Something's not right in it. The system's fucked up. Something's not right.
My flip side is if I work, so I'm working, like you said, 30 to 50 hours a week. I won't see my babies. I'll see my babies for an hour, maybe every single day. On the flip side, I know what you say, heartbreaking sort of situation, but then on the flip side, you've got somebody who doesn't work and they see their kids more than, and potentially, it sounds, but you're building the future people of, and those children who were brought up maybe with parents being around more, I think is a better way. So I think it's a better way to be around your kids because you're influencing them more than my kids that are in school for 10 hours a day because I'm off to work. You know what I mean? So I understand why people do it, but it infuriates me that they can do it.
Yeah, but
Does
I
that make
understand
sense?
why, like I said before, I fully understand why. Because you want to spend time with your babies, and I'll have no kids, but I fully understand why you would want to be around your kids and mold your kids and make your kids better versions of you. Because I got like cousins and nephews and nieces,
100%.
and that's what I try and do in them and like instill in them is just be smart. I want them to be smarter than me and than I was at their age, and
just have a good life,
and just have a better perspective on life. And
but
very
how
much
can
so
you do that when you're out 30?
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, obviously.
I know that's the challenge.
That's the tough part,
That's
innit?
the
But
challenge.
then that's when you have to find a balance. Like, I'm not saying, like, for me, I would say personally, try and become career minded and get a career so you're earning more and it's less, so then you can spend more time with them.
Don't happen.
But
So
obviously,
to get to a certain position,
obviously it's rough, innit? I'm not. No.
I know,
Let me finish.
I
I'm not saying it's
understand.
easy or anything. I'm just saying that that's the incentive. Like, be so, like, say it's 10, 15 years of you working your ass off in your career, in your field. Then once you get to a certain point, then you can spend more time with
kids
them.
15.
Yeah, your kids 15.
they
Obviously,
don't
but
spend
still
no
have a round.
So as an adult now, so you said your mum worked long hours to get you what you. So did my mum. And how many friends did you have where their mums didn't work? So I for mine, I was at my friends' mums, like we'd have chippy every night while my mum was at work because mine didn't work ready till 7:30 when she got.
I get what you're saying with that, but even that's a prime example. My mum is still a very heavy influence on my life. Extremely one of the strongest.
But you wish you could
worked
have
hard.
more. I must feel bare guilty on how I am with my kids at the moment and the fact that I have to work most days.
I get that.
For me and my mum, we have a beautiful relationship. It is what it is. Like, she's had to work and she's had to get where she can get. But financially...
Well, I'll tell you this on here. It's like, you shouldn't feel guilty about it because once your kids come to a certain age, it's going to be like, I had to weigh up the two. Are you even going to
they will understand.
They understand. So you shouldn't feel guilty.
I understand.
But you shouldn't feel guilty.
But
as a mum, no.
Why?
You feel bad.
I understand.
Listen, because the thing is, like, you don't understand. It hurts me. I'm trying to keep on top of the whole school thing because when the kids come home with the letters and it's like, oh, we got to do an Easter bonnet today. We got to dress up as Santa Claus. Do you know how pressure it is? I have to go to Asda, and find what I can find to put on.
24-hour Asda, mind you.
To make a point to get so they don't feel left out. Do you see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're
And it
saying.
costs money.
And it costs money.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but what I'm
money.
saying, I understand what you're saying in terms of feeling bad, but I'm saying you shouldn't. Like, I'm not saying it's wrong to feel bad, but I'm saying you shouldn't because you're just being a mother.
That's just a parenting
Like I say,
thing.
I'm not a parent. I'm
Parents
not a
always
parent,
feel
and the
guilty.
reason why I'm not the parent, I say this all the time. Parenting is probably one of the hardest things to do in the world because there's no guide to it. There's no successful way. You can have 6 kids. You can have 6 kids in one household. And they all come out different. Every single one of them. Like, my mum is one of, say, I think 1 of 8. And all my aunts and uncles are completely different. So
same with me.
it's finding a balance, like I said, because there's no textbook, there's no do it this way and it's successful. It's not like making jerk chicken. Like, it's just, there's a recipe, follow this, do this. The chicken gonna come out bumming. Like, that's what it is. Of course it is. But there's nothing that grows and says, you do this, your kid will be successful. So that's what it is.
There's no guarantee.
It's
there's
a
no
balance.
guarantee.
But even saying you feel guilty about not being with your kids and all that shit through the day, they're getting the concept of a work ethic from within the home. So that's just gonna.
So hopefully they won't be on benefits.
There you go. So you're creating a whole new generation of people that want to work. You're creating little mini workers, which is a good thing. So it's no point feeling bad about it because you're creating primary socialization begins within the home. So if you're creating these little workers to go out and graft and work hard for the money. But
so what are you saying that the people on benefits are creating?
So for people, this is the thing. This is the issue.
They are creating.
It's a cycle, though, innit? You could feel not everyone's different though, because you could come from a background where your parents never worked, they've never done a thing, and then you want to do better than what your parents did. But there's some people that will see, it was easy living, or you can just do this and sign on and want to live that life. So you're creating.
And is that their fault? Because I don't think it's their fault. As bad as that is, I don't think it's their fault.
The kids' fault. The kids' fault.
You grow up.
Obviously, when you're influenced by it, but you can't blame it. How many people do you know? Yeah. Like influence, like people who come from, say, not good backgrounds but are successful. But then you get people who come from bad backgrounds and aren't successful and use that as a crutch. Like no one. I don't think anybody has the perfect upbringing because I don't think there's anything. There's no thing called the perfect upbringing. So circumstances go on.
Is it okay? So let the time wait. No, but that's the question. I understand all the exceptions to the rules sort of thing, but is it okay to be on benefits for a long period of time? Because in my opinion, that's what fucks the rest of us over. So the tax credit thing,
there's
the only thing that fucks
circumstances.
us over is people who are looking to be on it long term when they don't need to be on it. But I understand why they're taking it, because nobody's taking it back from them. Do you know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, if you've been on it for 12 months and you are able to work and you've got no reason to stay at home, then fucking go work or get food stamps.
Stop.
What's the food stamps, man?
No, like I struggle. Like when I say I struggle to keep me looking how I look, how my kids look, how they look, my car to be what my car is, my house to be what my house is, and for me to walk into your house and you've not worked since you. I don't agree with it. I don't like it. But why should this be? I'm slaving away. In fact, I'm paying my tax for you to be in an X6.
So the issue is, there's people that are actively looking for work and they can't find a job, and then there's people that for whatever circumstances they can't get a job.
Have a disability.
So in my eyes, there you go. In my eyes, I don't think you deserve. If you can go out and work, but you just can't be asked because you're living comfortable. You don't need to go out and work.
I don't want you to die.
Then you're a pussy. Go and fucking get a job.
Yeah, but
if there's people that
not
want
everybody.
to go, there's different
everybody.
ones. There's the people that want to go out and work and they can't find jobs. They can't do it because of whatever circumstances. Then you get the lazy bastards that can't be asked working.
When do you know that's the case?
Exactly.
Because I know people.
No. What I'm trying to say to you is, like we have this. It's like when you have that viewpoint. What I'm saying is, it's a case of it goes across everyone on benefits. It's like, everyone on benefits. If you can work, then work.
Yeah,
and then
there's
it's a case of you feel bitter.
levels as to why
exactly,
you're on benefits.
Exactly. You can't feel bitter.
Do you know what I mean? Like, my mum suffered with depression, so I had the best of both worlds growing up. I seen her working her ass off. I hate the fact she had to go to it. We didn't get enough time, but then she did get shut down with depression, something she had throughout her whole life. So we've had to deal with behind closed doors. So it's a different level altogether. She can't work. She can't get herself out of bed. Never mind going to work. So you can come to my mum's house and see it's spotless, and see she's got a nice house outside.
So this is
what you don't know what she's going through. Do you know what I mean? Like,
that's fine.
So
she's saying that she receives a certain amount of. She receives whatever she gets because she has a reason not to go to work. If you do not have a reason, and people do not have reasons, like if your partner goes out to work so that you can stay home and look after the kids, that is completely fine. Like, no issues. But if you can't get up, so basically, if I quit my job today and said I'm not going to work,
which I did last November,
exactly,
I did.
So
after 3 months,
no,
after 3 months, I thought, you know what, I'm gonna sign on. I'm gonna do that for 3 months.
That's your choice.
3 months,
That's a choice. I like that though. That's fine.
That's me.
fine.
You know what I mean?
Wait a second though. But
I'm
if you went into her house, right, and she's obviously claiming benefits.
Working.
No, but I'm just saying, would you feel bitter? Like, would you feel like, why is your house looking like this? And
no, so that's
it's nice on my caption.
It's the fact that she's been working. It basically,
but you don't know.
No. Everybody has a different story.
Yes.
I have a story as to why I've worked so much and rare. But is this you?
It's
Can you do it? It's inevitable.
No, it's complicated, isn't it?
It's complicated. You don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a case of some people you know. Some people you will look at their situation and know, like, you're just being a lazy ass, But then there's gonna be people that you don't know. You can't.
So that's fine. So basically, what the government's supposed to do, we don't know. They
are taking action at the present moment to obviously make it difficult. And I don't agree though. But I don't agree that.
Well, you know what they should do? They should treat it on a perspective of basis of piggybacking off what you're saying, just perspective, like basis by basis, like every scenario is different.
Every case is different. But they haven't got the time and they don't want to invest the time into doing that. So
that's why
it's fucked. It's very fucked because they're not taking the time to appreciate every single person has got a different way of living, a different upbringing, a different circumstances to why they're in the position they're in. If you're not going to take the time to look into that, it's going to be fucked.
So Nicole, as you were saying, they're introducing. Or is it after 2 children, if they get raped, you have to, how do you prove you get raped?
I know. Basically, no, it's caused outrage because basically, they said initially it was a case of if you've got more than 2 children, you weren't going to obviously get any more tax credits for your 3rd child. So now what they're saying is that obviously there's going to be people who have obviously been raped, victims of rape. So therefore, they have to prove that they've been raped, which is an awful thing, just to obviously get an extra little bit of money to obviously look after your child. So exactly, but then on the flip side though, you're gonna have people who's gonna actually say, you know what, I've actually been raped. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'm manipulating.
Well, the police would have to get involved then. You'd have to show a police report then.
But who wouldn't do that though for an extra little bit of money? People would.
People are
no,
sick.
people would. People are sick. People
What, and set someone up?
People will do it.
Someone up
Now we're going into a whole different argument.
Like
genuinely, people would.
That's a whole kind of worm. So, do you know anything more about what the actual, what's the word I'm looking for, scenario is? Like, what do you have to do, or is this just all an idea you put together?
This is what's gonna happen. This is what's gonna happen. I don't know how they're gonna obviously assess it. I'm not that far yet, so I don't know how they're obviously gonna assess it. But it is something that people are gonna have to do.
And see when I say the system is, and see when I say the system's fucked up, shit like that's opening up a whole
But that's them trying to clamp down. Do you see what I'm saying? And this is what I'm saying. Like, obviously, there's this viewpoint that everyone's just taking from the system. Do you know what I mean? But it's not. No, what they're making it harder, and people are suffering. Do you know what I mean? It's like we talk about a DLA, which is like what PIP now, yeah. PIP, right?
Oh, money knows that.
I know that because of the job I work in.
Right? So the assessment is so much harder. Like, there's people with heart conditions, that can't get out of their bed in the morning, that have been, who are on DLA, who have now been told that they can't claim, and have to go to work, but they can't get out of their bed in the morning without taking medication, and it still takes them a couple of hours to get moving.
It's true, You
know what I'm saying? But they've been told they've got to go out and work. Now that's fine.
It's the way how it's been assessed though. So I think the government use like a third party company, and they're not trained. You know, the assessors.
Backwards in itself.
Exactly. Yes.
But then
so if you can turn up to the centre, then that means, he's fine. He's hasn't got a heart problem. You can get out of bed. He could get a job right now. Take him off his benefits.
But you don't know how long it took him to get to that point.
Exactly, and that's the problem. And that is the problem. That's the problem. They don't know the circumstances. They're not medically. Sorry, medically. I can't say the word. Medically trained. I can't say it.
You can say money though, innit? You can say money though, innit? You say cash money, can you?
Well, okay, yes. But the point is that they're not medically trained, and it just messes up the person's life. I think that's the problem.
Do you know why they're not medically trained? Like so these people,
the government
sticking exercise. Basically, it's just so that they can pay people less. So if they got people that were trained, then people who needed DLA and who needed PIP would get their rightful entitlement. But unfortunately, because the government have to save money, and maybe because they're having to put more money into people that are raping the system, then the people who need the money don't essentially get the money. Does that make sense? It sounds horrible, but
it's a horrible.
I personally just it's a horrible situation. I think it's a mental thing. So we all feel for them people who need benefits, but can't get them, or struggle on them because of other people, and essentially it's because of other people falsifying their claims, abusing the system. Basically.
But what do you know? The people who get caught, right, and they get convicted for whatever reason, but they don't pay it back though, because all they do is just reduce the benefits.
Exactly.
They pay it back. They're
not paying it back though.
No, but they are paying it back.
They're paying it back because that's what they're reducing, because they're taking it back from them, so they're not that disposable income anymore to spend, because that's ours now again, because they ripped us off. The system's fucked.
But the system, it is shit, because regardless of whatever they bring in, whatever reforms and stupid laws and nonsense they bring in, there's always a way to manipulate it. There will always be a way and a loophole for someone to think, well, they don't do that, so I'm going to do it.
And then
if I say that, then I get that. If I act like this, then I get that. So there's always ways to manipulate it. This is why the system, I think, is a load of shit.
Exactly.
It works in a sense for people that need it, but there's always a way to manipulate it and blag it. There's somebody right now at home working out how they can rag this system.
Someone watching this thinking,
that's their job.
That's their job. That's their job. So there's always going to be ways to manipulate, regardless. They can make it harder and harder and harder, but the only people it's making it harder for is people actually need it, and that's the sickest shit, and that's why I think the system is
that's a fantastic point, fam, that you just made there, in terms of they're making it harder and harder for the people who actually need it. That's true.
That's the most fucked up part.
Because you have to go through this ridiculous questionnaire, and then you're talking about the whole rape thing, and I'm like, that's nuts. Like,
if you got raped, do you think that you got to look at a piece of paper to even determine whether? You just wouldn't do it, would you? You just ridiculous, isn't it?
To ask a woman like, all right, you've had a third kid, now prove you in some way, form, or fashion that you've been raped.
I think if I'm right with that certain policy, it's about the exception, not the rule.
Yeah.
So it's not like, so I know that if a woman had twins at the third point, or triplets at the third point, there's an exception to that. Not the, so I'd like to think that if somebody had been raped, they wouldn't necessarily have to put it on them to prove it, because there's no way of proving rape apart from when you go to court normally.
But that's why obviously you would obviously have to report it to the police.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. The police would have to be involved.
Yeah. But that's where we come into the sick twisted
bit where
people manipulate it.
You can still black that.
You can still black that. 100%. You can still black that in some way, form. Oh, I was out. I got raped. I reported it to police. Like, there's no bona fide way to prove 100%.
The only proof they will need is that police report.
Yeah.
Like people won't give it. People I got raped. Yeah, I mean, like,
which is a bit fucked.
Yeah, it's so messed up. Like
I think there'll be more than that.
Yeah, I think it'll be more than that. I think it's going to be quite deep, to be fair, and I feel like a lot of people that have been victims of rape will lose out, to be fair. Seriously, I don't think it's going to be easy whatsoever.
Because all they're making it hard as it is already. So
if you could change something, what would it be?
Well, if I could change...
If you could change something about the welfare system, what would you change?
I would make sure that there's more, like I was saying before, that there's an incentive for low-income working families, yeah? Doesn't matter, obviously, if it's a single parent, whether you're a full family of like 4, 6, whatever, it's no children. If you're working... Then, because at the present moment, yes, you have working tax credits, but then you're limiting it to 30 hours. Sorry, that's the maximum hours you can work, 30 hours. But obviously, myself, I work full time, yeah. And obviously, if your partner works full time, then do you know what I mean? Yeah. But what if you're on a low income? What if it's a case of you're getting minimum wage? Do you know what I'm saying? And you have 2, 3 children, and you're not entitled to working tax credits because you have that, and then you're over the cap. That's no good. There needs to be an incentive. There needs to be an incentive. But that's where it does. So then that's a benefit, because really and truly, that would attract people to work as well, because it's a case of, you know what, if I work and I work full time, I'm going to get this top up. Do you know what I'm saying? That's more beneficial.
It's so mad. I like the fact you brought it up about the top up.
Yeah.
There is a top up.
Yeah.
So there's a
I like
top
the top
up.
up.
So
we all like the top
up. So I know there's a top up whereby if you are on benefits and you're coming off benefits to find a job, they give you an extra £40 a week. Something.
See that?
So £40 a week, that's an extra £173 per calendar month, not every 4 weeks.
You've worked it out.
Hey, yeah, you had that already.
No, but really interesting. So there is already an incentive out there. It might not be much, but it's an extra incentive. So
that's once you get the job, though, innit?
Once you're in the position. What you're saying is the change should be that they should help you get in. The job centres need.
No, but what I'm saying is,
there'll be a clash.
It's not about the incentive to get into a job. What I'm saying is, if people that were working and on a low wage was getting some sort of benefit, then it's a case of there's no excuse really in it, because if you can't turn around and say, oh, if I go to work, I'm gonna be worse off. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if you're working, you are gonna get a top up. Do you see what I'm saying? So there's no excuse. Basically, just being lazy. Then.
But they always do. So this is it. So so this is in the family situation or over 25, I think it is, for a single adult to get tax credits. You do get top up through tax credits. So your wage is determined, unfortunately, by your worth, if that makes sense. Like your career and whatever you've done will build how much you earn. So if you, unfortunately, can only get minimum wage, how much more should the government have to top you up from? Where is this money coming from? It's my 40% tax. Where's this money coming from to then top up your wage to match mine?
But that tax credits that you're talking is for a single person. I'm talking about a family. I'm talking
about
family,
single person.
Tax credits.
I know.
Yeah, do you see what I'm saying? Like, obviously,
I know
family, you don't get the top up.
There's tax credits and child tax credits. There's a difference.
There's a difference.
Yeah.
No, this is what I'm saying. So I'm saying if you're a family, then it's a difference. You will not get that top up if you're working over 30 hours. You'll get tax credits.
Yeah, that's right.
You're not going to get working tax credits. That's family tax credits. You're not going to get working tax credits.
You lose out on a lot of shit for doing more.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm saying if that incentive was already there, it could attract people into actually going into full-time work, and there's no excuse. There's no, I have to work 30 hours or I have to work between 60 and 30 hours a week. You can work full-time. Do you see what I'm saying?
You can do what you're doing and then get what you get.
A little bit of a top up.
So in my opinion, my final thoughts on it is it should be the same. So the low income side, I hear what you're saying, but low income doesn't necessarily mean that you are worse off. So I could be on 40 grand a year, but doing worse off than somebody that's on 20 grand a year. That's my theory. So just because I don't think my tax credit should be stopped because I'm earning more and putting more hours into it and stressing myself out to get a house. I don't think my tax credit should be any less than yours just because maybe you didn't, want to, put the extra Friday, Saturday in and get more wages. So that's my fine. Basically, it's just, I think should just
So what's
match
everyone's
your
so what's your final
ambition.
thoughts on
Your
it? What's
income
everyone's final
should match
thoughts
your
on it?
ambition. So if you're not willing to strive for it, then I don't believe that you should be on the same income that somebody who's willing to strive for it is.
So does it work?
No, I'm a big believer. But I'm a big believer in food stamps. As bad as I think everyone. How many homeless people? How many children do you have in a home with their family where she ain't eating because her mum's gone and spent that £10 on fags, or she's having? Not everyone.
Does it work? No. Does it work?
I don't think it works. I don't think the system works, and I think if it is to work, it needs to be done on an individual basis. That's just
the system doesn't work, but it needs. I feel like it's necessary.
Yeah, it needs work.
I think
it could be.
You've got your.
You just go, fam. You just go.
Yeah, I personally don't think it works. There's too many ways to manipulate it, and it's just making it harder for people that actually need it. So I think it's a load of shit. I think there's a lot of work that needs to be done in the system. So.
Yeah, same with me. Like my thoughts are similar to you guys. Know there's a lot of complications in the systems. It can be manipulated, and I think where the benefit side is, it just depends on their circumstances whether they should be entitled to the benefits or not, and they've got to prove that they're looking for work X, Y, and Z. And also, the government should help more getting qualifications so they can get decent jobs, so they can stay off benefits long term. That's my personal thought.
I was saying the idea of the system is great. It's just that the execution of it is terrible. That's what it is. The execution is terrible. So
there you go.
It can be used as a stopgap, and for people who genuinely have lost their jobs who are working hard, fair enough. But that's just my thoughts on it. It can work, but the execution is terrible. And then when I hear things about they're going to start talking about rape and things, that just goes to show that whoever's making the solutions is not making the solutions. So it can work, but it just needs a revamp.
There
you go. Real talk, baby. Real talk, Manchester.
So thank you for watching Real Talk, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yes, you sexy bastards, that's the end of another show. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed making it. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like us, and make sure you get involved in the comments. If there's something you wanted to discuss in the show, just comment below, baby. Just comment below. Right, we will see yous next week, you sexy little twats. Without yous, there's no point us doing the show. So thank you for watching.